Ah, oh, I can read now. Normally, when I grind nowadays, I just kind of focus on grinding the 3 accounts. As I'm doing too, I can read again, but then again, what will I read? Maybe we could try to read the guide, the Sun Tzu's guide to war or something. But it's a guide, not a story. I like reading stories. Technically, I could grind my other account. I have like 2 accounts that are mine. Technically, one is shared. Technically, any account that someone sends me is technically mine, with just some rules on using it. Like these 2 accounts. Beta's account, I can practically do anything I want with it because Beta doesn't really cares as much. But I for sure he won't let me deconstruct the SPs. But then again, he deconstructs his SPs. But on Bridgewalker's account or Jin's, which is the Kagro one, I'm not allowed to pull packs unless it's the blue packs, which there aren't any left because I use it to pull on Nobatama because he wants me to pull on Nobatama. Because the only way to get Nobatama mats is by pulling on the Nobatama clan gacha until Nobatama actually gets a character fight, which is only usable if you are an old player who's plays consistently. Because if you're a new player, you're just getting useless cards. Because Nobatama as a clan, the moment it was released and became playable in the Link Joker era or Break Ride era, has lost its value. Majority of the cards lost their value the moment Dominate came. Like the only cards that are still usable is like Dreadmaster. That's in the TCG. Don't know anything in Zero since I haven't been watching any Zero news stuff lately. And there's no viewers, so it's like. But then again, I might post this on YouTube later. I'll be posting this on YouTube later, so better have someone talking right now. Uh, if you notice lately when I've been grinding on my account, which is always the middle account, and it's on BlueStacks, is Grand Gallop. Because Grand Gallop is a pretty okayish deck to grind with. It's pretty straightforward, which is a deck that you need if you want to grind multiple accounts. If a deck isn't straightforward or has too many combo pieces, you're gonna stall for time, which is a bad thing to do unless you're so automatic in all those combos. Like for example, uh, in Joker, this chaos deck, chaos is a bit more complicated because you need to think when and where to activate certain skills. But I've been playing chaos for so long that it's been automatic. Like for example, when Bridgewalker asked me to grind his account before, first time I used it, I used Kagro, which is a clan I'm using right now. Then after that, Aqua Force when it was the peak clan. Then Link Joker. Then back to Kagro because Link Joker became too obsolete. But now most players they forgot how to play against Link Joker. So it's like okay, it's usable again. And also it's like it's very hard because it's like even though there's like 12 spaces, 4 extra space for your for G units. But some clans they have so many good G units that it's like I rather run four extra good G units instead of running like one copy of Harmonic Messiah. Like the only generic unlocker that doesn't mess up with your deck. Because like the main deck still matters in the end, but it's like in the end because it's like it's how you get your key pieces to help you win. The G zones is just like for finishers or help continue your combos. Like let's start with Kagro. Because this Kagro doesn't run harmonic messiahs, which means that at any point in time they face a Link Joker matchup, there's a pretty good chance they won't be able to have a way to out it. So they have to overpower via retires, which it's pretty good if especially if you ride Blade Master on time. Sadly in this current game I couldn't ride to Blade Master, so but in the end Kagro's pretty strong and pretty strong in that type of match since they don't really need their rear guards for most things compared to other clans. Oh, Link Jokers are a pretty slow paced deck, which hurts it in the long run, kind of, because it's super slow paced. If your opponent can rush you, they're just gonna be able to beat you because they cannot compensate by using more cards in hand. Same thing with Narukami. I tried grinding with Narukami. If you watch my streams, you've seen me grind with Narukami, Shadows, Gear Chronicle. Yeah, I grind a lot. And I had a 2 month or so force break. I say force because my sister she needed to go do this thing in the countryside. So, so she needs someone to watch her dog. And so she picked me because one, I'm free. Like you can't beat something that is free. So there's that. So I watch her dog, which was a pain because the dog doesn't even like me. Technically, it kind of likes me. It doesn't bite me or anything, but just like it uses me. The dog is only happy when I walk the dog. Which, if you watch my YouTube videos, you would know the dog is a Chihuahua. I think it's a Chihuahua. We don't have its papers or anything, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, she's still living strong. I miss Coco. That's the dog's name, by the way. It's Coco. Because Coco is brown and Cocos are brown. Hmm. I wish I can grind 4 accounts at the same time. Theoretically, I can, and actually did that one time. It's like, if you notice a YouTube stream that actually is a Vanguard stream that uses my own account, it's actually me grinding it with me grinding on Twitch. But sadly, I didn't download the VOD, so it's a nope. So there's no way for me to verify it unless I bring up a third account here and just start streaming on YouTube using Omelette Arcade. That's what I used to stream on YouTube since I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube to stream it directly. In the streaming wars, YouTube might win in longevity mostly because YouTube has long form content like YouTube videos and VODs, while Twitch only has streaming, which really hurts its ability for longevity. But at the same time, it's more streamlined if you're just being a streamer. Like in YouTube, it's like you can't even raid. I've been to YouTuber streams and how they raid is just they send in the link to the other YouTubers channels And that's that. It's very tiresome to do that. You go to the link, while in Twitch, you just type in the command or do the thing on the dashboard, and you're directly sending your viewers to that channel. And I've done those stuff numerous times, because if I have two or more viewers, I'll just send the viewers to the to I'll just raid. Simple as that. I just raid. I just raid. If I have two more viewers, I just raid. If I have one or less, I don't raid, because it's like it doesn't count as raiding if you only have one viewer or less. Mm, mm. What's the best deck to start up as a new player? It depends, especially on your playstyle. It's playstyle dependent. Like, if you like control decks, Kagro's your best bet, because it's like Jang Kagro is still usable. Jang Kagro's strides is just triple rares and double rares. You might want to have a GR like Root Flare only because of the resist matchup, but you can counter the resist matchup if you have the original Dragonic Overlord. Discard. You have discard, you more or less counter the resist matchup. So Kagura's a pretty good staple clan for new players. But if you want to be more complex, there's Neo Nectar, but the Neo Nectar G deck, which has all the cards you need to make a complete deck. You just need to add more GRs in that deck. Will be nerfed heavily either next month or the month after, because of the Toria shenanigans that tend to happen. Yeah, Toria and Jiggle Flower combo is super toxic, but that's the only thing that helps New Nectar live long enough. But they've been getting more and more combo pieces, so it's becoming better slightly for them. So it's like, your time has come. No, the lured restriction, which I saw this because I have a Discord server, and one of my members told me about it, or is it in another Discord server? They told me about the choice restrictions of Shadow Paladin and Neonectar, which is like, okay, I have a Shadow Paladin deck, since if you see my streams, I run Lord sometimes, which is very rare now, but before I was like so active because I have like a complete Lord deck more or less. So yeah, and plus I don't even run the disgusting combo of zero damage Lord, so I'm okay. Which is like they're restricting Belial Owl and the generic 18k intercepts, which is like okay, but they're like generic though, so it doesn't really. So it's so, but yeah, combo zero damage. It just ruins the fun of Vanguard. It just try people like that are trying to make Vanguard into Yu-Gi-Oh, which is okay. Yu-Gi-Oh is a pretty fun game. I play Duel Links off stream, mostly because I don't play long enough to consider it streaming. Like I mostly do PVE stuff, and yeah, that's about it. I mostly just do PVE stuff. Like I grind the characters. I do some like 3 rank games for the dailies, and that's about it. Or grind the event, which has an event right now, but I already have Blue Angel, which is okay. I did post a YouTube short of me pulling five or 10 packs, 10 packs of the new set where there is Holy Angel or something, the Blue Angel's current ace monster. So yeah, I did that. It was okay, and plus I got it prismatic, which was cool. I also have Master Duel. Oh my gosh, did they deck out? Oh my gosh, deck out. They didn't count the deck. There's another. That's a very bad thing, like decking out. Ouch. I should have paid closer attention, but it's like, yeah, I should have paid closer attention, but it's like, uh, it's just tiresome. Plus, I'm playing two accounts. If it's like one account, I can focus on the small stuff like that, which is important for tournament play compared to just grinding on rank, where it's the best way to grind rank is having a good deck. You can consistently pilot and just keep going through it. Is not my mic even receiving? This is not even my mic, it's my brother's. That's why the mic is on. Because I'm borrowing my brother's mic. Because he just said, oh, you can use your mic on your streams, man. Because I can, because this mic used to be for his work. Since he was loopholed into technically being fired, at the same time not fired, it's very complicated. So now, I technically have a mic. I still feel sad about what happened to Beta. Beta was planning to send me a mic, but it got lost in shipment. So it's like, which is very sad for both of us. Mostly him, not me, because I was like, I didn't ask him to send me a mic. He offered and he just said, okay, here's my address. And he must have, he missed a couple words of my address, so that's how the shipment got lost. Which is still sad. And my mom says it's not real, but I believe it's real. Mostly because I have evidence to say it's real because I have like the tracker and everything. But that's been how many months ago? That's like since September. Or is it August? No, no, it's not August. It's like around May or something. It's such a long time already, so like I don't remember anymore. Oh, Link Joker is not good for new players, by the way. It's very complicated because unlike other clans, Link Joker doesn't have such a good way to receive resources, which makes it really hard for it to be a new clan because new clan teaches you how to play the game, gives you easy forms to win with. The Link Joker is like a very grindy deck. Like you need to grind your way out of certain stuff and hoping your opponent doesn't know how to play against Link Joker. Because Link Joker is like the only card mechanic where it has lock. As such, it's very hard to use and hard to face against. But that's for new players. But if you're an old player that has their stuff down, you're more or less safe. Yeah, you're more or less safe if you are a an established player, unless you really didn't think of facing Link Joker, so you didn't get traumatized when Link Joker was like a top tier deck in IRL and in Zero. In Zero, it was a top tier deck. It wasn't overpowered because the cost of each card it was so much higher compared to IRL. Thankfully, I wasn't part of that. I do play the original TCG, but it was not within that time. It was in the time where I was in my breaks of the game. For example, I played continuously between season 1 to the early aspect of break ride era, but I stopped around set 11 or set 10. I bought some packs, didn't play against Ning Joker until G era, which I came back with the force, with full force. Then I stopped because I went to China. Then I came back, then played, then back to China. Then COVID happened. I theorized that I got raw alpha strain COVID, and I somehow survived that while I was in China. And in China, didn't even have healthcare, so it's like, damn, I could have died. My brother originally didn't believe COVID was real until later. So it's like I kept because I don't know if I actually got the COVID original COVID strain. I was in China because I had like one day where I was really sick. I felt like vomiting. I couldn't breathe. Like I had a side effect where I when I take a deep breath, I feel like I could take in more, but it feels but I can't take more. So it's such a sad thing. Mm. Uh, nah, I can't post this VOD on YouTube anymore because I'm talking. So, by the mere fact I'm talking, and I like talking about politics and stuff like that, like the Ukraine war, which has been going for like for so long. This wouldn't have happened if two things didn't happen. One, Putin just wants to go hard war at it, and the West thinking because I'm not from the West, I'm from the East. Since I'm Asian, chose not to interfere with foreign politics. Like originally, the original government of Ukraine was like pro-Russia or neutral to either side. Then it got coup d'état. Now it's pro NATO and West. So it's kind of hard because it's like it's next door to Russia, and Russia has a very bad history with being invaded again and again and again. So it's like we need a buffer country if that buffer country is not. But then again, it's like Russia has Russia has neighbors with countries that are with NATO. Why is it just Ukraine? Maybe because like I checked a map before, and the map of the borders with Russia and other countries, like Ukraine is just a plain, so it's like there's nothing acting as a semi-natural border. Because I think the one of the countries that borders Russia that is part of NATO has like a mountain range or something. So maybe if Ukraine has a mountain range, they wouldn't be invaded right now because it'll be too much of a pain to be invaded. Uh, but in the end, but in the end, what's happening right now to the rest of the world because of this war is very very sad. Mostly because gas prices are increasing. Like for example, I don't care what happens to Ukraine because I don't care what happens in Africa. I'm just being consistent because it's like I suddenly care about some group of people who I didn't even know until a news channel start talking about them. Yet I already know about other people who are suffering the same way. They're just not in a European country. But then again, like Ukraine is a tipping point for World War III, and currently right now, based on Russia's views, we're already at World War III. But to the rest of the world, it's just a scuffle between Russia and Ukraine being sponsored by NATO, which is gonna be very annoying for us later on. Maybe, but then again, winter is coming for the Western countries, especially those in Europe, because it's like when winter comes, the lone wolf dies and the pack survives. And currently, there are a lot of lone wolves right now in the West because it's like it's a me generations instead of an us generation, which China and Russia is trying to make, which is a us generation, where country, community, family, myself, in that order of level of importance. Uh, while everybody else is like myself, my friends, my community, my family, then my country. But country and family is like interchangeable there because some people are willing to sell their parents to the government, which happened early on during January 6th with in the United States. If you're willing to sell your own flesh and blood, which is like a cornerstone of how a community starts, how are you gonna build a community then? There's always stepping stones on how to make stuff. Like you need a community If you don't have a community, then you're nothing. Like, look at me right now. I have zero viewers. I just been talking to myself, which is very sad. But in the end, I might get viewers later on. Then again, it is a Monday, so most people currently are at work or at school. Yeah, it's a Monday, and it's also 4 a.m. for people in the Western world right now. So it's very hard to get viewers. But I like streaming since it's an easy thing to do, especially in my original setup where I don't talk. I feel tired, but then again, I need to practice because vocal cords have been atrophying by my lack of use. um, well, if you notice, I've been playing Xenoverse, Dragon Xenoverse 2. I thought of buying the original Xenoverse because it's like if you have the original Xenoverse and you've completed the game and have all the moves, you can transfer it to Xenoverse 2. But then again, it's like most, if not all, the moves of Xenoverse 1 is also in Xenoverse 2. You just have to earn them. And Xenoverse 2 is a better game. But there's some aspects where Xenoverse 1 is a better game, like it's like creating a new character. Like in Xenoverse 1, when you finish the story mode, you unlock creating other characters. But when you create those new characters, you don't have to redo the story mode. And all parallel quests already are completed. Parallel quests, story mode, and mentorships are all shared. But in Universe 2, you can you can create any character. You have already all your character slots already open, so you can create any new character. But downside is every time you create a new character, you have to redo the story mode with them. Like you have to redo. They don't. You have to redo the complete story mode, which is like, damn. Why did I buy this game? But then again, I like Dragon Ball. Like when it comes to verses that I want to be isekai into, Dragon Ball is like a good verse to be isekai into, as long as you're on Earth or have space travel or something. And ouch, I am playing against zero damage in the Kagro in the Kagro one, which is very bad because it's like zero damage is very annoying to play against. But in the end, they sometimes bite their own butt. But sometimes I face them and I win because I just built so much advantage from just being able to hit them. So it's like, yeah, I won. But it's like, consistently speaking, they tend to win more because it's like, the only clans that are okay with zero damage are clans that don't need to use counter blast that much. Like, Narukami doesn't need to use counter blast as much against them. Like, Vanquishers on Stride ability, that's only one, but they have Zora's Vanquisher Voltage, and especially Vanquisher Voltage. If you keep ramping up Thunder Strikes, sooner or later your opponent will run out of PGs, and unless they run the old counter charge perfect guards or PGGs for short or CCPGs, they would lose because of too much power. But then again, I don't see that much Narukami because Narukami has a very blatant weakness. They can only do 3 swings a game, which is similar to Kagero, but Kagero can do multiple swings a game with Overlord as their main guy. And plus, like, you know, and going back to Narukami, I tried to make a Descendant deck, tried to make it work. It was very hard, mostly because I didn't have all the Descendant pieces. Because I prioritizing getting Vanquisher stuff. which my Vanguard should like very good, but like didn't make Descendant good because like I don't have the Descendant death site, which might help me in the retired department, which is very hard for eradicators for some strange reason. They can get good consistent front row retire. Oh my, I have no more soul. I literally have no more soul, which hurts in the end because soul is important. And I think I have no more big crunch. Yep, I have no more big crunch. Don't stride. I just have to swing all the rear guards. Wait, wait a moment. I didn't stream yesterday because I was out for the whole day. I should really announce it on my Discord server. But then again, it's like, what do I use it for? I use it for team events, like right now, the tower. There's a tower event and I need more members. Yeah, I need more members. I should try to advertise my team in Vanguard Zero for these type of events more, but it's like I kept focusing on the main aspect of Vanguard Zero, which is the PvP aspect, which is grinding on rank. Like there's three major RLTCG simulators right now that are legitimate, which is Master Duel, which is technically the best one because it you can play the full version of the TCG legitimately. It's not a third party. It's officially owned by Konami or something, which automatically makes it the best version because it's just officially owned and it's the full version of the game. I don't play it because I don't really play Yu-Gi-Oh. I do play it sometimes, like there's an event for Link summoning, but it's like I barely play it because I don't know how to build decks. They don't have an auto deck building feature, which Duel Links has. Now, speaking of Duel Links versus Vanguard Zero. When it comes to having OP decks, I have more OP decks in Vanguard Zero than Duel Links. But Duel Links has a better animation thing going for them. Like when you summon a blue eyes white dragon or red dragon archfiend or Deco Talker or Holy Angel, insert super cool boss monsters, they would have their freaking animations. So it's like, yeah, man. Yeah, which is great because they have their freaking animation. So it's like, yes. It's such a huge plus. It's such a huge plus having their animations. And plus, the animations were specifically made for Duel Links, which is better than Master Duel's animation for certain boss monsters. Like, there's Heat Leo, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and other boss monsters, but they're not as cool as those in Duel Links. Same thing with Vanguard Zero. Vanguard Zero just uses stock animation from the anime as rides, and they don't even do it for all the cool monsters. Like they don't do it for strides, don't do it for main grade threes, and you don't even do it unless you have the proper character, which coincides with Duel Links that unless you are using Playmaker, you will not get the decode talker summon animation. Now, Now, summon animations. Okay, how many cards do I have to discard though? Three? Two? One? Well, don't really know. Oh my gosh, he retired four cards. But then get Vanguard Zero is better because you have a crafting aspect of it. Like you can farm your crafting materials, which Master Duel doesn't even have. Master Duel you can craft any card. It's pretty cheap compared to Vanguard Zero, but in the end you cannot farm your crafting material. The only way you can farm your crafting material in Master Duel is by opening the same type of sets again and again and getting duplicates of the cards you already have, and can only be in a certain set that requires you to pay in with in-game currency, which is a pain because it's like I want to build this other deck, but if I want to keep getting materials I have to open this set. So it's like, do you want to have crafting materials, or do you want to have the possibility to get the cards you want to play? But again, it's the only legitimate simulator that you can play the full TCG, the full card game in. Duel Links is just a different format. It has majority of the cards of IRL with some effects being changed, which is the same thing Vanguard Zero does. Because Vanguard Zero doesn't, it's like a different format. Doesn't It's like a different game entirely compared to the TCG. But when it comes to crafting materials as a free-to-play player, Vanguard Zero is still better. And also, you know whether or not you're gonna how many wins you're gonna need, because it's like I've been playing Dueling since it got released, and I still don't get how do I rank up. Like rank up, I know I rank up because they told me, oh, you're gonna rank up. I just don't know how many wins do I need. Is it like two, three? I do not know. I literally do not know. But when it comes to farming, but when it comes to farming in-game currency, Vanguards are still better. I have like 9,000 gems in one account, 7,000 gems in the other. And I am a free-to-play player. I haven't spent a single peso or dollar in Vanguard Zero. I spent money in Duel Links to get a second structure deck or something, because I like a certain archetype, so I just did that. In the end, it wasn't even worth it because it's like in the end it's not even used anymore, which is very sad. Maybe I'll get a use later on, and having two copies of a card which normally a person can only get one of might be useful in the future. But it's like, and also it limits you on how you can get those structure decks. But yeah, but at least in Duel Links, when it comes to structure decks aspects of it, Duel Links is better because you use when you first purchase a structure deck, it uses in-game currency. If when you buy a second or third copy, you use IRL currency or real life currency. But Vanguard Zero, on the other hand, you have to be lucky to get a free token to exchange it, or use real life money to buy the token and some in-game currency so you can get the structure deck. And majority of the structure decks in the first version, they're not as usable now compared to before. But there's a new one which are G structure decks, which have strides and with GRs in them, so they're slightly more usable. So if you're gonna buy structure decks, just go with the G version, unless you want to get certain old cards from older structure decks. But it's like it's up to you. Now, when it comes to the ranking system of Vanguard Zero versus Duel Links and Master Duel, I prefer Vanguard Zero because there's no limit to who's the best. You actually have a leaderboard or of who's the best. But unlike Master Duel and Duel Links, Once you reach King of Games or the highest currency currently in Master Duel, which I think is Platinum, or is it, or is there something higher? Since I haven't played that game for so long, you can choose just to stop playing. Just you're at your highest rank, and you stop getting gems, which is completely different to Vanguard Zero. You keep getting gems no matter what you do. Because as soon as you rank up, you get like 30 gems. Like once you reach Legend 50, which is the highest legend you can get, that you can get, where they will give you a prize besides generic repeats, which is the fourth copy of the rank reward of that season. Yeah, and also there's prizes that, because like in Vanguard and Duel Links, your prizes are like an SR, UR ticket, or rare ticket, or uncommon or common ticket, which are okay, but those tickets, they don't give you good cards, except for the SRs and UR tickets, which actually have good cards. So it's like, so it's a give or take which ticket you want to use. But in the end, in Vanguard, you are given a rank reward which has a foil version and non-foil version. The foil version depends on how high you rank up compared to other people. Like if you're in top 3000, 1000, 500, 100, and so on, you get certain rewards. But most importantly, you just get gems when you rank up. But then again, Duel Links gives you gems every time you win, which Master Duel also does, but it's like, what are your chances of winning in those games? Like, for sure, I know I can win in like certain games in Master Duel, which I do sometimes. By dumb luck, I somehow win. But majority of the time, I just lose. Duel Links, I'm better at Duel Links than Master Duel because I'm not the one who built my deck. It was built by it was built by the game because they have an auto deck feature, which is an important aspect of it. Sadly, you don't have an auto deck feature in Master Duel or in Vanguard Zero. Is there an auto deck feature in Vanguard Zero? I haven't used it because building a deck in Vanguard Zero or in Vanguard in general is quite easy. The only time it becomes difficult is when you have to, when your clan has so many good options that you can't decide on what to pick. Oh my, he must have run out of Ogma or something. Two Ogmas. Does he have a third one or something? That's gonna be kind of overkill, but it's like, if you have a third one, more advantage to you. Oh, it's that card. And damn, I only have one defensive card because Ogma just keeps destroying my hand. uh, there's really nothing much for me to talk about unless some random viewer asks me something. Or I can somehow repeat what I said when there were no viewers here. Uh, I become thirsty suddenly, but then again, I can hold off my thirst. Must be because I'm talking. When you talk, you dry up your mouth by breathing in air more consistently and releasing air when you're talking more. So it dries up your throat and mouth faster, which explains why I feel tired. And it's not even 1 hour yet. I have to do the dishes soon, but then again, my sister's gonna go out on her date. Don't know what time her date is. So, but we have rice, so I can just cook up something easy like tocino or something. Since we have tocino at home. If you don't know what tocino is, it's some sort of sweetened meat that you cook. I don't even know how they process it because I never cook tocino from scratch. It's like some piece of meat and it's sweet, so it's sweet. Filipinos like sweet food. Don't know why though. Why do we like sweet food? Huh? Are these people like sweet things? How compared to people like better stuff? Once Dear Days comes out, will I play it? No, because you have to pay for it. Depends on the price. If it's like cheap enough, I might actually pay for it. But if it isn't cheap enough, I might just do what I'm normally doing. Play Vanguard Zero majority of the time. When I feel like it, stream. After I stream Vanguard Zero and stream like Duel Links or Xenoverse, but most likely Xenoverse because it's like I can play that game for hours on end. Xenoverse is like a game that I like playing hours on end because their PvE aspect super good. It's actually great. Like you can keep grinding Dragon Balls, super moves, ultimate moves, clothing. You have so many ways to grind. Some of them gets annoying, but like the missions where you have to collect the Dragon Balls, which is so annoying. Especially the Guru missions because they keep activating out of nowhere even after you finish it. So you just need to wait to unlock the level caps, which is so annoying. Ugh. They surely make a Xenoverse 3, but then again, you have to spend a lot of money for research and development to build a new game when it's cheaper to just sell a DLC. Yeah, if you have a DLC, that's why DLCs are more common because it's cheaper to because the profit margins of a DLC is bigger than making a whole new game. Because when you make a whole new game, you need to add certain features that are not native to the original version of the game without removing the good features from the original version of the game. So yeah. Will Vanguard Zero die once Dear Days comes? Nope, mostly because you have to pay for Dear Days and there's no crossplay. Like if there was crossplay between Switch users and Steam users, then Vanguard Zero might die. But not really because it's like there's already people who like playing Vanguard Zero over the TCG because of how easy it is to get to be a meta player there. Like for example, some people they have never had a chance to be a meta player in IRL because of money, but here they can be one because you can grind and it's free. Because free stuff tends to be better than stuff you have to earn. Because it's like it's free. You don't have to sacrifice anything. But technically you are sacrificing something because you're sacrificing your time, which can be better spent on doing something else that will help you long term, like finding a job. Or you can do what I do. I just stream the game while I'm playing. So when there's an ad popping up and you guys stay and watch it, I'm earning money that way. Technically speaking, this type of economy is why inflation is also bad because it's like what do streamers do and the entertainment industry in general they're one of the reasons why the economy is bad. No offense to entertainers because it's like what do we provide? We just provide entertainment. You can't eat entertainment. You can't eat entertainment. You can technically use entertainment as a form of education, but that's about it. It can't be real use. There are very few uses for entertainment in real life besides it helps you de-stress, which is a positive thing in the world if you use it sparingly. Just like too much of a good thing turns into a bad thing. Oh, it's Dimension Robo. For me, like when it comes to like builds, it's like Grand Gallop is better though. But then again, Grand Gallop is generic enough that you can actually use it in any deck. So it's like, but Grand Gallop is because it has counter charge, it has resist, and the main aspect is majority of the stuff you need to use for Grand Gallop are cards that are good. Like there's the Grand Gallop Glimmer Breath clone. There's the Grand Gallop Triple Rare Grade 2 that has resist. Majority of the stuff in Grand Gallop is pretty useful. While in other, let's talk about Dimension Robo, what we're facing right now. You the pieces are all over the place, except for the more recent pieces. Like in the Grade 2 lineup, it's completely filled with just new cards now. There's like no old card in the Grade 2 lineup that I can think of that you still use now in Dimension Robos, because you have 4 copies of this card, 4 copies of this card, and 4 copies of the 12k beater or the Kaiser specific one. Because the main thing going on for Dimension Robo is guard break, which is a mechanic where if they drive check a grade 3, it will force the opponent to put 2 sentinels, but which sadly can be bypassed by heal guards. Heal guards really nerf certain playstyles like that, but in the end it adds an extra complexity to the game, so which is good. More complexity keeps the people who complain about a lot about the game less likely to complain. Oh my gosh, it's switches. I'm facing in switches. Ouch. Can be facing in switches. OTT, which is to be specific, which are so annoying because they have a card that skill where its skill is you either discard 2 cards from your hand or you take damage. And it's not even limited. Like if you have no cards in your hand, the skill will proc and you're a fifth, you'll be killed, which is so sad. They gave Oracle Think Tank a VMAX when Narcomics VMAX can't even be used. But then again, it's like an option. It's like, how about you give it an option to do the same thing with VMAX, but then again, it will not be Narcomi in general. So maybe like bind 3 cards in your drop zone. If you can bind 3 cards in your drop zone, the damage will not happen regardless. If they did that, it'll be so much better. And plus, it will help in the Thunderstrike count. It will make VMAX no longer a useless card because it's like VMAX in my deck list for Vanquisher, which is on YouTube and on Rumble, listed it as a filler card, which is such painful things. Like it's such a painful thing. Like Zoras has more use than VMAX right now. VMAX's use is so bad now because it's like it used to be like a super cool card, but now because it's like how it does how its multi-target works is also bad because it's Vanguard centric, meaning you have to attack the Vanguard first. So if your opponent has, let's say, more than 2 intercepts, so going around you can't do anything about it. Can't because this has retire protection, right? Oh damn, it doesn't have retire protection, but then again I'm overhand. I technically have a witch deck now because I spent some of my GR mats on Oracle Think Tank. This is not that great of a thing to do because like Oracle Think Tank is kinda meh. I have to do this because it's annoying. Alright. What we do to not get damage. I could draw a card if I choose to activate the on-stride ability of Blade Master, but the on-stride ability of Blade Master costs a counter blast. Better save counter blast. It's like, you rather draw a card or save counter blast. You have to pick and choose what your poison is sometimes. But then I have a counter charger here, so it's like, is it really a cost? It is, because we don't. This deck doesn't have that much consistent counter charging. Besides this and this thing, protect orb and this. Those are on ways to counter charge on the deck. If he gets a trigger again, this will hurt. He does. No. Will it hit or no? It does. But it will be a heal guard unless I get two more. Nope. Nope. No, it's not two more. I need four more to go past like heal guard. But then again, oh, it was a PG, so meaning my opponent doesn't have heal guards. I still don't know why that. The only thing this card does, X lead, is just a. It's just a weaker version of Grand Gallop, because it's like, no, or no, it's not Grand Gallop. Is it Cross Gallop? I forgot, but it's like the Gallop Stride. It's just a weaker version of that, or a freer version of that, because it's just, you just have to make it 40k. If you reach 40k, you can restand one unit without turning over a G unit, and you can have like one copy of that. But Grand Gallop is just better overall, or Cross Gallop. The Gallop type is just better overall compared to that, because one, it gives powers to rear guards without resting, permanently resting, so it protects you in the long run, stuff like that. And has just better effects too. It literally just has better effects. Using that card on a, what was it again? Using X lead in a Dimension Robo deck is not that smart, mostly because X lead requires power, and Dimension Robot doesn't give that much power anymore to the Vanguard circle. It doesn't give that much power. Hmm. Grand Gallop would have been better. And plus, activating X is equal to flip a Grand Gallop. Like, X Tiger would be better. Is it X Tiger? Is it the triple rare where you can flip and it's 45,000 or greater, it gains a crit? That card is better. But then again, that card is not a good first stride card. Like, there's no good first stride cards anymore. That's with that, unless you're Grand Gallop or like a clan or a sub clan that can give more power consistently to the Vanguard before the battle phase. I have like so many PGs, so I'm pretty safe there. And damn, he should have like, oh, he on yeah. There's not that many clans that can counter lock. Like, you have to add in deck unlockers. Don't, because it's just grade 1, so no need. Boom. No stride, and the only thing of is generic, so boom, 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 boom. I'm not adding triggers back to the deck because it's like I don't the deck out. That's the thing. Triggers are only useful when your opponent is at 4 damage or less. And plus, when you're practically at the end points of the game, having triggers will make you deck out and lose. And I don't want to deck out. It's just another problem of chaos right now. That chaos is like decks that are have a hard are more likely to deck out. They're decks that are more likely to deck out. If a deck's more likely to deck out, you have to play you have to play very smart. If not, you're gonna deck yourself out. Grand Blue also does that. If you mill too much, you're gonna deck yourself out. Genesis Soul Church too much, you're gonna deck out. Dark Irregulars, Angel Feather, like a lot of decks that are very technical, you might deck out. Like Pale Moon, Soul Charge too much, you might deck out. Oracle Tank deck, draw too much, you might deck out. Same thing with Great Nature. Like if you're gonna deck out, it's just like one of the worst ways to lose. It's also one of the funniest ways to win. Because it's like when a person decks out, it's not your fault, it's their fault. Unless you're Ogma, then it's your fault. Because like it starts the win count of Ogma, you deck your opponent out. What? There's also I also have a complete Beast Deity deck now that is post Fighters Collection 2, and I crafted majority of those cards because it's like in the Fighters Collection, the GRs that I think that had value was like Nova Grapplers. It acts as a second Victoplasma, even though Victoplasma is technically better, but the other card it's good enough if once four or less. So it's like it has more pressure, and plus you can just keep striding on that card again and again and again. So it's like it's a first stride and a mid stride. So by your mid stride, you can push your opponent to 5 with that and restun your Vanguard, but it's like so dependent on you having a full field. So it's like it's kind of like man, I should have crafted more copies of the Victor Stride instead. But then again, it's not part of the event. I crafted so much stuff for the event, and I doubt I'll even be able to be top 100, which is so sad. It's just sad. But again, it's my own fault. I don't advertise the team as much, nor do I tell people, "Oh, guys, join my team." And it's currently in the event. The event, you're not allowed to quit your team, but you're allowed to join people. So like I've been allowed when people just ask, I just accept after they have verified they are real in my Discord server, which I really put like the exclamation Discord, Rumble, YouTube, and my socials on the stream like I normally do when I play 3 accounts or other stuff. I'm gonna check if there's a text box. If there's a text box, I'm just gonna add it there. And there is. There's a freaking text box, but it's at the same place where it's the same place where the timer is. Sheesh. I have to edit this bad boy. Okay. Oh, I'm hungry, but then again, I just ate a piece of fried chicken with 2 piece fried chicken with rice. Wasn't even that filling. But then again, my sister made me eat a lot yesterday, so it just expanded my stomach, so I feel hungrier. And they try so hard to make me lose weight too. I just read this like inconsistencies, which is so common. You have to be consistent. Consistency is king. Is key to a successful life. Because if you can consistently get food, shelter, and other important stuff, and consistently get more resources, then boom, you win in life. But most people they don't want that. Okay. Uh, oh, it fits, but barely. Yay, it fits. So yay. Ouch. Do I get the trigger here? I get the trigger. Yay. There's no sound here because it's like Nox for some strange reason they have a sound error after a while. They like for example they'll play normally like here. Yeah, but after a while it's gonna start wheezing, which will be annoying. So better be consistent. But I'll leave it on right now. Well, it's okay once it becomes fuzzy or whatnot. I'm just gonna mute it. Hope the other one is working fine. Damn, I really woke up late, but then again, I've been staying up until like 5 a.m. lately. Because I have like insomnia, but then again, I drank iced tea. Iced tea has caffeine. And caffeine doesn't make me wide awake, but it keeps me awake. Which is like the worst side effect. It just keeps you awake. It doesn't make you wide awake. If it makes you wide awake, then it's a good thing. Because it's a positive, not a negative. Oh, it's Kagero. Wow, didn't notice that. Because normally Hololive is mixed with what was it again? Mixed with Bermuda Triangle or something. No choice.
アタックスキル発動ヒールガードヴァンガードにアタックスキル発動スペリオルコールファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェックアタックダメージゲットザドロートリガースタンドドローリミットブレイクスキル発動ジェネレーションゾーン解放ライドジェネレーションジェネレーションブレイクロックいけスキル発動スペリオルコールスキル発動ソウルチャージアタックダメージチェックアタックダメージチェックヴァンガードにアタックファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェックヒールガードスタンドドロー
Excuse me for my burps. I normally burp and you guys don't hear that.
頼んだスキル発動リアガードにアタックヴァンガードにアタックスキル発動スペリオルコールファーストチェックセカンドチェックサードチェック
And I realize talking is tiring. So what Central says is true. He used to be a Vanguard Zero streamer. Now he's more generic now, where he tries to stream other games. Which is okay, it's his right. Like, it's my right to just play one game. Or any game I want. Because it's like, yeah, it's a person's rights. You can't really do that. But then you can complain about it. Like, that. But then again, it's like, I just feel sad that as a streaming category we're kind of dying, and their days is not even out yet. But if their days has crossplay, then their days would be safe. Then Vanguard Zero is kind of, because like when before Master Duel Links had like thousands, 2,000, 3,000 viewers on Twitch. Now it's like if they get into 1,000 range. If they're within 1,000 range, then they're lucky. But now it's not. Anyways, I'm gonna end this because I have to do the dishes. I should have done dishes earlier, but no. If you hear voices, those are my siblings right now. Thank goodness most people don't speak Tagalog or Filipino for that matter. Anyway, since we're only one, I'm just gonna end this. Damn, only 5? Sheesh. It's hard to get 10 then fights in the event. But again, Jin doesn't have that problem because Jin is part of a good team, unlike Betas, who is part of my team. So technically, I have more incentive to grind his account because he's part of my team. So if he does well on the event, my team does well on the event. But I do grind Jin's account whenever. I grind both of their accounts whenever. Technically, grind all the accounts I have whenever, except for like the Kara's account. I really need to remove it, but I don't want to delete it. I'll just log over it with another account once I get another account. I'm planning of asking one of my team members to give me another account because like I don't want to grind account from scratch to legend because that's a pain. Anyways, guys, bye bye. I have to do the dishes.